Zealand orange roughy, scaloni, sand dabs, much more too, like halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, or parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, cordon bleu, also great pasta dishes too, and steaks, have we got them for you. Fillets, New Yorks, Chateaubriand for two, much more, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and the incredible extra large cut of the prime rib. And for entertainment, don't miss Marty and Elaine, Hollywood legends in the lounge every night. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch from Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue. Call 323-665-4294.
Airing on over 200 affiliates across America, this is Tim Connelly's Winning Strategies. Call now with your questions at 1-800-336-2225 or email talk@winningstrategies.net. Now, here's Tim Connelly.
And we're back live with Mike King and Dr. Jan Vandersandy. Tom is a pretty cagey, quiet guy, isn't he?
Yep, but Tim, he confirms our beliefs there.
He absolutely does. He
Yep.
absolutely does, and I know he sees storm clouds on the horizons too, and I think that it's just a time to be careful.
Yep.
Just to be careful. And you know, quadruple witching days used to absolutely paralyze people because they were so scary, because some of the biggest swing days we've ever seen in the market has been on quadruple witching. Well, why does that not seem to be happening today?
Well, Tim, that's because they changed the expiration. Everything used to expire at the close. Now they did it that the S&P futures expire at the open. That's why you saw $500 million in volume right at the open, because the S&P futures expire at the open. So they did that to prevent these wild swings during the day.
Very interesting. And
that's why you see a lot of stocks open with very big volume, because of the S&P expiring at the open. So they staggered it now. So that's why we don't get these wild fluctuations.
What do you think about these new rules that they're promulgating right now, that if there's a swing of 10% or more of a stock in any given day, they don't honor any trades beyond that?
Well, that's stupid.
It's crazy.
Of course it is.
Explain I want to hear your thinking on why you think it's stupid, so I can have the benefit of that.
Well, Tim, there are going to be stocks that have fundamentals, changes, acquisitions, or bad earnings, where they do drop them more than 10%. Take a $20 stock. 10% is only a $2 move. A lot of stocks selling at $20 move $2. So just because, and then you have to stop trading anymore, and then you can't, you know, I'm not sure what the rule is. After it drops to 10%, it stops trading, or you...
I believe that the stop trading is only for a short period of time.
But Mike, nevertheless, it takes away
the free market 10 minutes?
Work.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes?
Mike, I don't know what the exact number is, but I can tell you this: when we had that flash crash, that 10 minutes cost people tons. I know people that took positions and sold those positions and thought they had made thousands and thousands of dollars. And so what happened is they ended up being short on the position that they resold because the NASDAQ canceled their long part of the transaction. Now, where is the fairness and equity in that? That's the kind of craziness that happens when you have these things, and that circuit breaker is too small. 20%, if they insist, might be a little more reasonable. But
Tim, I agree with you there. But 10% for a stock, how many... Think about it, $10 stock moving $1 or $30 stock moving $3, it happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Well...
So I disagree with it. Maybe make it 30% if there are these crashes, but, you know, doesn't make a lot of sense, Tim, sorry.
It simply doesn't in my mind, but you know what? We've seen it over and over again, Jan. Everybody is going to protect the big players, and these are the big players that are driving this, not the retail investors, not the guys that sit there and trade positions on a smaller basis each day. And this story that I heard about a trader I know, talked to him at Starbucks during that last flash crash. He thought he had made a ton and instead ended up losing money because he was short on the second half of the transaction. He bought at X and thought he sold it at 2 or 3X, and when they canceled the original transaction, he was still liable on the follow-on transaction.
Yeah, that's wrong. And
where's the fairness in that?
Exactly. And the stupidity is, I hate to say it, is the people who have stops, but they don't have stop limits. They have stops that become market orders.
So explain that to our listeners. Explain the difference between a stop and a limit order.
Okay. If you put a stop in, say you have a stock that sells at $25, you want to put a stop in at $20 to protect, say, your profit or to protect your position. Now, if the stock hits $20, if you have a stop limit at 20, that means your stop is hit, but you can only trade at $20 or higher. If you have a stop order only, it becomes a market order. So if the bid drops to 18, you're going to get filled at 18. So there's a big difference.
And the market maker will bag you every chance they get. We're going to take a quick break here on Winning Strategies. We'll be back with Jan Vander Sande, Mike King, and Tim Connally. Talks on the market, Winning Strategies.
Hounded by debt collectors with phone calls and letters? Thinking of calling a debt relief company? Don't. Greedy lawyers and debt companies